Welcome friends to Spinning Tales NOR Neighborhood Place. My name's Miss Lucy and today we are going to be reading Spookley the Square Pumpkin written by Joe Troiano and illustrated by Susan Banta. The Legend of Spookley the Square Pumpkin. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookley wasn't like his friends, where they had curves, he had ends. Spookley was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookley the pumpkin wasn't round, he was square. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling around, poor Spookley sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge, he just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookley wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro, it snapped their vines, then off they'd go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight. Spookley sat there filled with fright, but glad to be square that night. Suddenly the fence gave away. The pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. Spookley knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried. He finally flipped. He was on his side. Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then he stopped. Right in the gap where the fence had snapped, he blocked the way, the hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookley the Square Pumpkin had saved the day." All of the pumpkins hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was a brave little Spookley sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookley's were the most special that had ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, the morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, they were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds. Much of them were square, but some were cubes and some rectangular. Some were flat and others triangular. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Now every year on Halloween, Spookley's patch is quite a scene. People come far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick up a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too, and they'll go to tell someone who'll go tell another. And maybe, just maybe, you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. So that's our story, friends, and we are going to make our very own Spookley the Pumpkin. What you will need today is some graham crackers, some orange icing, some green frosting or a green gel pen will also work, a black gel pen, and we were lucky enough to find some candy eyeballs for the eyes. So the process is very simple, friends. We take our square graham cracker, and it could be any size. This is the snack size. We take our frosting and simply spread it around our graham cracker. Take our knife or a spoon and just spread it just like this. Our next step will be the green frosting for the stem. And you just make a little green stem right there. And we will take our eyeballs out, and you press one down, and you press the next one. And finally, we take our black gel pen and create a mouth just like that. And you will have your very own Spookley the Square Pumpkin. Thank you, friends.